Test 1, 2, 3. Hello, my lovelies. It's Val. How you all doing today on this splendiferous Sunday? It's nice and sunny here. I hope it's sunny for you guys as well. I think I'll just get started doing some cross-stitch coloring here. Not sure what I'm going to talk about, but I'll think of something, I'm sure. Alright, let's go down here and start on the bees. Right. Now I'm just trying to decide if I should use this, because then you see the... Do you see the pointer? Yes, you do. Alright, we'll use the mouse. I'm sorry it's been so long since I last streamed. I've had a lot of things going on, both health-wise and personal-wise. Needless to say that some things have been good that are happening and some things that are not so good. But the good parts are I will say that my therapy has given me a new perspective on my life, and let's just say that I did not have the correct view of things. The view that I had was more of a fairy tale than what actually happened. And as painful as it is to understand what really happened and not what I told myself happened, dealing with your crap that's been sitting there, you know, causing you issues for so long, I feel I'm not done yet, but I feel like a new person. I feel like the person I always should have been. At least I'm a lot closer to that anyway than I was before. And the interesting thing that I found out was that I think I've mentioned before that, you know, Vals NoisyToys, when I'm streaming, the persona that I have is not the same as my normal day-to-day character. But the interesting thing that I found out was that Vals NoisyToys, this bubbly persona, is a heck of a lot closer to my real self that, well, I've been masking all my life. Because I learned at a very young age that that if I wanted people to care about me, I had to be somebody else. And that's why streaming as Val, other than the actual, you know, energy to stream with, hasn't been a hard thing for me. And that's because I'm being more myself when I'm talking to you guys than I was, well, in real life. So you may notice some changes in myself. You may notice that I hopefully will become a little more open, a little more... Oh God, I mean, I don't even really know what my real self truly is like, because I haven't been her since, you know, I can remember. And I never realized it. So I'm certainly willing to talk more about that sort of thing, but I just, for now, because right now I'm all alone in my stream, because nobody knows I'm streaming, because I haven't streamed for so long. I just hope that if I hang out for long enough, some of my regulars will show up, or you guys will see the stream after the fact. Yeah, so... trying to think about what else to talk about here, because I don't want to be going into TMI territory. Well, I guess I can talk about the cats. Both Valentine and Twix have both been having health issues, and they were quite concerning. Twix has kidney disease. Fortunately, it's still, I think it's stage 2, so she's still doing pretty good. But the one that was really scary was Valentine, because he suddenly lost the ability, it seemed like, to stand and walk for more than a step or two before he'd have to sink down. And we took him in, and after some testing, we found out his potassium was super low. So I've started to have to give him fluids with a potassium supplement. And of course we were doing additional testing because his potassium was not going up, despite me poking him twice and filling him full of potassium enriched saline solution. So then we did more tests, and we found out that he has a tumor on one of his adrenal glands. And basically it was causing an overproduction of, I'm not sure which hormone, I'd have to look it up. But basically it was chewing up all his potassium. And, you know, I mean, if you get low enough in potassium, your heart's going to stop, right? We don't know if it's cancerous or benign. The chances are it's benign, because usually they are. And he just started getting his potassium, or his, that's not the right word. He just started a few days ago, on Friday actually, with his new pill that should help the adrenal glands stop overproducing the hormone that's chewing up all his potassium. So I'm still giving him fluids, but in 2 weeks, well, just under 2 weeks now, we're going to take him in and test his blood and see how his potassium is doing. And cross our fingers that it's picking up, so, you know, the pill that we're giving him to deal with his tumor, well, actually he's getting 2, one for high blood pressure and one for the overproduction of the hormone that's eating all his potassium. And with luck, we'll have the young man with us, that's his nickname, with us for some time yet, but we have to wait and see. And so while we have an answer, we don't know yet if he's going to respond to the treatment. So cross your fingers that Val the cat, the namesake for my channel, is going to be with us for a while yet. I know I'm crossing mine. But basically that's why I didn't stream. I've been trying to stream every 3 months or so, but because he's been so ill, I've basically been spending all my time with him. When I wasn't, you know, feeling super crappy myself. And as for me, we did find out what's been going on. I'm not going to go into the symptoms, but let's just say that it's something that happens to ladies and not men. And now I have to go talk to my doctor about all the test results and decide what we're going to do. Because one of the options is surgery, which if we do that, it's more of a preventative thing. Because quite frankly, if I don't get the surgery now, the chances are really good that I'll have to get it later. And I'd really rather avoid getting surgery when I'm older if I know it's probably coming. Like, I'd like to do the preventative thing while I'm younger and able to heal up. And, well, I found out that if you're over 70 and you get... I mean, I'm not over 70, don't worry about that. I got a while yet. But if you're over 70 and you are taking... How do I put this? You go to surgery, you get anesthetic and such. The anesthetic can actually cause cognitive decline. And since I'm rather fond of my brain cells, I'd kind of like to keep them. So if this is a surgery that's pretty likely to happen when I'm older, I'm like, can we just do it now? Because I don't need this body part, you know, causing issues later on when I'm, you know, going to be less able to recover well from the surgery. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, looks like Facebook just updated. All right. I guess, oh, another thing I can talk about is that valsnoisytoys.tk is no more. In order to go to my lair, it is now valsnoisytoys.ca. I am going to be reworking my website with the aid of Greatorator, but I have to wait till I'm a little healthier because there's a lot of changes I want to make to it. And I don't really have the energy at the moment to make decisions like that and, you know, put all the intensive thought into it that I think I need to. But the other thing is I have started an Instagram. It's at valsnoisytoys, of course. And I also have threads as well. And I'm hoping once they've updated that app enough that I can not use the formerly known as twitter.com, because it's turning into a wasteland of right-wing asshattery, and I do not want to be on it anymore. So for the time being, I will, you know, like post if I'm going to stream and that sort of thing, but I'm not going to be on Twitter very much. Well, it's not called Twitter anymore, but I think the new name is just as stupid as I thought the name that they changed Bean to was. Except, if possible, I think it's even dumber. So, yeah, don't look for me there. Don't try to contact me through there, because I probably won't see it. If you want to get a hold of me, the best way to do so is to either contact me through Discord, and if you don't use Discord, then the best way is gonna be to just trying to decide what the other best way would be, because if you use Threads or Instagram, I suppose you could contact me through them. I haven't played with it enough yet. I did put up one Instagram post a bit ago that was a little video of Miss Bunny looking for bugs. So if you want to see that, I think it's pretty dang cute. But I have to look at Threads and see if they've updated enough with enough features so I can actually, you know, do things like post. I'm going live like I do on the formerly known as Twitter site. However, we'll see how it goes. You can always go to my community page on YouTube and post a comment there, or say, you know, hey Val, I'm trying to get a hold of you, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, not happy with what's been going on with Twitter for the last year. Not happy at all. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think if there's any other news I need to share that I haven't already just blathered on about. actually, there's one piece of information. I'm not sure if I've shared it with you yet, but I'll share it anyway, even if I've already done so. As most of you know, I am, I don't know if they call it type 1 autistic or level 1 or whatever. Used to be called Asperger's syndrome, ASD. Well, obviously I still have that. But I've also found out that I got something else that I've, also had all my life. And 70% of autistic people have this as a comorbid thing. Wonder if you can guess what it is. I'll give you a clue. It's the source of my squirrels. Why I get so easily distracted and whatnot. Yeah, I got ADHD too. And I've been started on some medication, and we've got a dose right now that seems okay for the moment. Because right now I think some of the issues that I have are due to the traumatic incidents in my childhood that I'm not going to go into, that I've been remembering. I don't know if I said it before, that I don't really remember much before I was about 13-ish? Well, that's not true anymore. Now I remember so freaking much. I'm like, how can that all have happened to one person? And I don't think I'm done remembering. But what I have realized is that some of the issues that I have, that it's making my ADHD worse, basically. And as I deal with those things, I will have more mental energy and more physical energy to deal with some things that I've lost the ability to deal with. But the thing that was the most exciting discovery when I when I first went onto my meds for ADHD, and then we thought I was having an allergic reaction, so I stopped it for a month, and oh my god, that month was horrible, because when I went on the medication, I got my ability to hyperfocus back. I lost the ability to hyperfocus way back when I tried to be more like a neurotypical streamer and be all social and things, and almost burnt myself out in the space of 3 months. Yeah, I did cause myself some damage because I lost the ability to hyperfocus, and it was basically, I need hyperfocus time. Like, mentally, I need it. If I don't get it, I start to get depressed, and I have all sorts of issues, which is why I started streaming less over time. It was because I couldn't hyperfocus anymore, and my ability to get things done was in the toilet. And when I realized that, when I went off my new ADHD meds, I realized that it had given me my hyperfocus back, and not only that, but I need my hyperfocus to be mentally healthy, which was a big revelation to me. Fortunately, it turned out that I was allergic to something else and not the medication, because in desperation, I went back on the medication just for a couple of days to see, because I was like wheezing and that sort of thing from these allergies, like it was not good. And I didn't get the wheezing back, but my hyperfocus came back immediately. So, yeah, like things that I had the physical energy to do when I was younger, as I got older, I lost because, I started to lose my energy. And then on top of it, I kept doing damage to myself because of autistic burnouts. And that's what happened to me when I tried to stream like the neurotypicals and, do all the social stuff. And yeah, I went through another autistic burnout, and that one killed my ability, at least currently, to hyperfocus without being on my ADHD medication. But since I have been able to, be on that, My hyperfocus is back, and oh my god, it is... I did not know how much I missed being able to do that. And needless to say, that plus all my therapy and working through things and remembering stuff has all contributed to me actually, for the first time in my life, I actually have days where I feel joyful and happy. I know that sounds kind of odd, but because of the masking that I was taught to do when I was still so young I don't remember it, I did not feel my emotions properly. Basically, I suppressed them all, good and bad, and as a result, the only ones I tended to feel were bad ones and brief flashes of good ones. But most of the time when I was, quote, doing well, end quote, I would describe myself as having neutral emotions because I couldn't feel happiness and joy the way I can now, and I'm still working on it. And I couldn't, because I was also not feeling the feelings from the bad things that happened to me. I was suppressing everything. And now, well, I think the best way to describe the change is that on my birthday, when my husband took me out for breakfast on my birthday, he looked at me and he says, "You know, you look so vibrant now." I've never been called vibrant, and I was just like, oh my god, thank you, that is the most awesome, cool feeling when he said that to me, and I thanked him, and I was just like, I've never been called vibrant. And now when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't avoid looking at my face or my body. I look at my face and I think, you know, you're actually kind of cute. Instead of, yeah, I got a potato face. I look like a peasant. You know, I mean, I'm a part Irish, I'm part English, and I'm part Swedish. And I'm sure at least part of my ancestry came from the peasant stock. But, yeah, I never looked at myself with an eye that said anything other than I look terrible, and there's nothing I can do about it. So, that's a lot of mental changes I've been making. Yeah, let's do C next. Let's see. There we are. There's the C. So, all I can say is that I have had trouble asking for help all my life. Because basically I wasn't given any. And when I did ask for help when I was young, when I was a kid, basically, let's just say that it didn't tend to go well. But if you're like that too, you have a hard time asking for help, but you know that you've got some things that are just not right with yourself, please try to find therapy. If you're autistic, I highly suggest that you go and look at your local autistic groups. The one that saved my life, in a sense, at least I feel like I'm living now instead of just being alive. I went to this non-profit that's located out of Calgary, Alberta. They've changed their name recently, but if other people are in Alberta would like to look into it, they do offer telehealth appointments for your therapy. And what I did is I attended one of their courses that they had. I think it was Emotions 101. And that allowed me to meet the lady that is now my psychologist. And that made it so much easier for me to reach out and say, you know, you guys, I know you guys offer subsidized therapy, and I would like to apply. And I didn't even think that I would be able to get the lady that I knew from the course. But I said, you know, if it's possible, I'd love to have this lady and as my psychologist. And I got so lucky. She was that I'm her patient, and I have been for better over 2.5 years. And it's made such a difference. So if you're worried about finding somebody that you can click with, because you do need that with a therapist, I highly recommend try going to courses for your, hopefully you have a local, or at least one that is local enough that you can attend these courses through telehealth or Zoom or whatever it is that they offer, and meet some of the, you know, the people there, and you might get lucky like I did and find someone that you click with that you can sort of vet before you actually start therapy with them. Because it's helped so much. And it's only really been, it was about, when did it start? I think, I would say that what I've been calling the going down the river with it's full of rapids, and I keep hitting rapids, and then it gets quiet for a bit, then there's a bunch of rapids. That's me remembering things and starting to deal with them. It didn't really start until after I'd been in therapy for about 1.5 years. Basically, before that, I was learning mindfulness techniques and how to start to connect to my emotions better, which is why I went to that Emotions 101 thing in the first place. Because I realized that, you know, I really don't know what I'm feeling most of the time. It's only when I have a really strong emotion that I can say, oh, okay, I'm really pissed off. But, you know, because I say suppressed because even though that's still my go-to thing is like, oh, you know, I'm really upset about something, I almost automatically start suppressing it. But I've been learning, I'm actually at the point now that I realize at the time that I'm starting to suppress it, and I'm like, nope, I'm allowed to feel feelings. Let it out. Like, I'm allowed to feel my feelings. So are you. The difference is what you do with them. Obviously, you don't take them out on somebody else who's not related to the issue, and you know, you need to learn to let your emotions out in a healthy way, and then when you're calmer, then you go talk to the person that caused the problem and have a chat with them about how that's not on. But I will say that I honestly believe therapy is saving my life. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm living and not just alive and waiting to die. One thing I will say is that when I was about 45, I knew that my parents lived till like 90s, so I knew that I would probably, you know, barring something else, I'll probably live to then. And the thought of being only half through my life horrified me, because I was like, I can't do this for another 45 years. It's been so hard. But that was before, you know, I started to realize that I needed help, and I needed to find out what happened that caused me to be, for my life to be so hard. Because being autistic and ADHD, it's already hard enough. But when you have trauma that you didn't even realize you had because somebody had sold you a bill of goods about what actually happened, and it wasn't. That's not what happened. But part of you always knew that there was something wrong. Yeah. I mean, my family never believed in mental health. It's like, if you go, it's like if you go and ask for mental health, you're weak, you're lazy, just all these, you're a nut bar, stuff like that. That's the kind of attitude that I grew up with because, well, I'm 57. So I grew up in the late 60s, early 70s. And 70s, I should say. And yeah, you just didn't do that. You didn't ask for help of that sort. But now there is so much more known about how your brain works. And about ADHD and the fact that women can be autistic and it's not just a boy thing. And that women's autism often presents quite differently than in men or boys. And there's so many autistic women out there that, like me, grew up just thinking they were broken. I'm not broken. I'm just wired differently. And I need a little extra help in certain things, but you know what? In return, I got some pretty awesome skills. I got some, like, hyperfocus. Man, you can do so much with hyperfocus. I mean, you can focus on things in a way that somebody who doesn't have this innate ability to hyperfocus can't do. And I honestly don't know if a neurotypical can learn hyperfocus. I would think you could learn it to a certain amount. I haven't actually looked into that, so I don't know. But I do know that there are some aspects to autistic and ADHD wiring that is actually beneficial if the things that made it hard to navigate a neurotypical world are provided support. Like, I have lots of to-do lists. I've been putting a lot of stuff on Google Calendars so I don't forget things. Like, I've always made lists, but now I'm making a concerted effort to use it more regularly and for, well, pretty much everything. But yeah, I mean, I still have a lot of crap to get rid of out of my brain that is stopping me from doing the things that I can do, that I know I can do. But I have these, I call it my hill. Basically, it's like I do something I really enjoy and that I feel like, hey, I might be actually kind of good at this. And then suddenly I get a hill in front of it that says, oh, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do something unless it's useful or can be sold. Otherwise, you're wasting time, and that's a bad thing. And I've been trying to rewire myself and realize that if you do something and you enjoy it and it's bringing you joy, and it might even be recharging your mental batteries, that's all you need as a rationale for doing it. All this BS about, has to be useful to other people is a bunch of crock. But when you absorbed that message when you were a tiny little kid and it's been reinforced by the same people as you grew up, it's really hard to get rid of that. So that's what I'm working on. Anyway, I know I've been talking a lot about my therapy and whatnot here, but you may have noticed I'm avoiding the details because A, you probably don't want to hear that, and B, I'm not comfortable sharing it at this point anyway. But I'm willing in the future in my streams to answer people's questions about what I've been learning, because as an older autistic woman, I've been told multiple times by various people that my experiences, especially now that I'm understanding what's going on better, and would help younger autistic women, and older autistic women too, possibly. So, if that's the case and you want me to talk about something or get my perspective on how something has affected me, I'm willing to give it. And if that provides you with information that helps you out, that will be awesome. But just remember, I'm not trained in this. This is only from what I've learned in my specific scenario of how I grew up. Some of it will be applicable to you and some of it may not. But different things might help different people. And I've always wanted to help people. And that's why when I'm not offended when somebody says, hey, I put on one of your streams and just listen to you babbling away in the background. It helps me go to sleep. Because I know they're not saying I'm boring. They're saying that when they're already starting to feel sleepy, my voice actually helps them get to sleep. And I'm good with that because falling asleep is hard enough for a lot of people. And if I can help other people get a good rest, no matter what the reason, like whether it's because they do find my voice very monotone or they just, I mean, there's voices that if I'm awake, I'll listen to and enjoy, but if I'm sleepy, they help me sleep. And that's the way I look at it, is I'm helping people, and that makes me happy. Because I'm having a positive impact on somebody's life. And what else can you ask for, really? Is to be there and help other people. So that's why I want to make myself available when I'm streaming to answer what questions I can to help people, autistic women. And I'm sure some of my experiences will also help autistic men, but I'm mainly aiming this at autistic women because there's so much out there and a lot of it is aimed at men because, well, that's what it started off with. They went with, the idea that boys had autism but not women, ladies or girls. And because they just didn't understand that, boys and girls are actually different, They just... But now, we are getting some research done and learning things, so I'm willing to be part of the resources for you and help you for what I can. I just realized I left my coffee in the other room. I was just going to have something to drink. I'm thirsty. Alright, well, it's 2:08. I think what I'll do is I'm going to finish this D up. And then if nobody has showed up for my stream, I think I'll probably wrap it up because I am starting to get a little tired. And I'm running out of things to talk about. At least without repeating myself too much. But I did want to stream because I know it's been a while and I wanted to let you guys know what's going on. Basically, my energy level is still super low, despite the fact that I've been able to... One of the things that I've learned is that I keep a lot of stress in my body. Like, that's where I've been storing the emotions I've been pushing down. And as I've been learning techniques to release them, mindfulness and meditation kind of things, I get a burst of energy because keeping those things locked down was actually using not just mental energy but physical energy, and that really surprised me. So that really is the only reason I have any energy to stream today, is because I been working the last few days on releasing more stress so I could get a bit of energy. But there's only so much energy I gain doing that because, well, the thing that I mentioned earlier about that I might potentially be getting surgery for is part of the reason that I, don't have energy. The first reason is because when I got COVID a year ago, August, I got basically the chronic fatigue from it, which was lovely. And then just as it started getting better in January this year, this other problem started up and sucked all the energy away again. So, I know I keep saying this every time I stream, but I want to stream. I just don't have the energy to do it very often. And I'm basically making myself stream today because it's been too long and I wanted to catch you guys up on what's been going on. And I really, really hope that this health issue can get dealt with and I can get my energy back so I can go back to streaming more regularly and, more than once every 3 or 4 months, which is what it's turned into. I want to go back, not necessarily streaming 6 days a week, 7 to 10 hours a day like I used to, but I'd like to at least get, a regular schedule again where I'm streaming several times a week minimum. But that's probably gonna take a bit still. Which sucks because I'm looking at my YouTube. Oh my god. This music is so freaking loud and I didn't realize. I am sorry. Starting to wonder if anybody heard anything I was saying. Or, anyway. Sorry if you're having trouble watching this after and hearing my voice over the music. I thought it was low enough. The song that I tested it on was, but apparently not all of them. Anyway, TLDR, I have something I might need to get surgery for that's causing me extra fatigue since January. And my therapy's helping a lot. I have ADHD as well as autism, and the medicine gave me back my ability to hyperfocus that I lost in my last autistic burnout. There, that's the TLDR. Oh, and I'm willing to talk about my therapy journey with anybody that wants to listen, because I want to help people, autistic women, particularly autistic girls, by sharing my experiences. Because I keep being told by professionals that I have a lot of wisdom to share, and it's taken me a long time to think that, maybe I actually do, but now that I'm learning more, I feel like, yeah, hey, I actually have learned some things that I can probably share that might help other people. So, yeah, in future streams, if you have that kind of question, feel free to ask. Let's see, what else in the TLDR? valsnoisytoys.tk is no more. Go to valsnoisytoys.ca. That's the new website. Not using Twitter anymore because of the asshattery in the last year or so. I will, for the time being, still be posting when I'm gonna stream on there like I have been. But I'm not using it otherwise. And I am looking to transition to Instagram and Threads, if that's possible. And if you want to follow me on there, at valsnoisytoys on them both. And on Instagram, I just have one little short video on there that I put up as a sort of a placeholder for stuff I want to do in the future. It's a cute video of Bunny, my cat Bun Bun, looking for bugs. And I think you might enjoy it if you like cats. So go ahead and check that out. Let's see, what else? The other thing I would like to ask is that if you are following me, or not following me rather, please follow me, because right now I'm at 1,000 followers, and if I drop below, YouTube is going to boot me out of the YouTuber partner program. And I know that I do not stream regularly yet again, but I'm trying. I do it when I can. And I really don't want to have to fight to get back into the YouTube partner program, like we already had to do once, and you guys helped me out so much. So if you're not following me, or if you have someone that you know might like my stuff, please ask them to follow me on YouTube to get me so I'm not dropping below that 1,000 followers. Please like this video or this stream after, because that also helps me. And I really hope that once I get this health issue dealt with, and I have no time frame on that other than it's going to be November before I can see my doctor and talk about next steps. So it's not going to be for a bit yet, knowing the healthcare system in Canada being overloaded, plus the hospitals being chock full because, well, in Alberta they've been cutting the funds for so long that it's really crappy. So even if we do agree that surgery is the best option, I may have to wait a long time for it, because I'm not in the danger of keeling over from it yet. So I'll probably be put on a wait list and probably be at the end of the wait list, because, well, it's not cancer, let me put it that way. And even if you do have cancer, that doesn't seem to matter. You still have to wait forever. So given that it's not something that's going to whack me in the near future, at least unless something rather untoward happens, it may take a long time. And I just don't know what to do about that, because I don't want to lose my partner status with YouTube. But I also, if I force myself to stream too much, I'll end up, basically, I have, when I do something too much in one day, the next day, in the next few days, I'm waxed. I feel like I've run a marathon, and it takes me a number of days to start to feel human again. So I don't think I can force myself to stream like even once a week, because I think I'll end up paying for it in a way that will make things worse for me. But I'm doing everything I can to get my energy back, including the energy that was and still is, although not as much, being sucked up by my issues. And I'm working, like I said, I'm working on it. And I've been, basically since June, I've really been having a lot of breakthroughs and remembering a lot of things that are difficult and trying to deal with them. But the result of that is I'm actually getting some energy back that was being stolen from me, both physically and mentally, by these things. So I will get more energy back as I deal with more of that. I honestly don't know if it's going to be enough to let me stream regularly, more frequently than I am now. All right. Okay, so that's the in case you were having trouble hearing the rest of the stream, that was the TLDR of what I talked about the last hour. Just want to finish up these Ds. Oh yeah, the other thing in the TLDR, Valentine the cat has a tumor on his adrenal gland, and we're trying, now that that's been diagnosed, we're trying to get medication that will help fix the things that it's causing, and hopefully we'll have him around for a while yet. So cross your fingers that that tumor is benign, as they most often are, because hopefully that means he'll be with us a while yet. Because I know I'll miss my boy. I've been spending so much time sitting in my chair with him glued to me the last, I think it's 6 weeks we've been trying to figure out what was wrong with him. My poor boy. Alright, just trying to think if there's anything else I can chatter about while I finish off these Ds. That isn't something I've already talked about. Well, I did mention it earlier, but I am planning on reworking my website. So right now, it's still got the old thing up. But I have to, basically figure out what I want it to look like and what changes I want to make. And while I have some ideas, I have to get the energy to actually work on it. And Greater Raiders going to be, Techno Dragons is going to be doing my website rework for me. And he is the one that has helped me get the old version of the website done as well. This one is going to require more work. Because I got a lot more things I want it to do, and they're not, you can't just grab them from a template. Like, basically what we have now is all based on a template that's been customized. But, so if there's some things you'd like to see on my website, feel free to throw some ideas in the comments of this video once it's posted. Be interested to see if there's anything you'd like to see. And I don't often say this because I always feel so awkward doing it. But if you have a few extra dollars laying around and you want to support me and help me keep streaming, please consider checking out my Patreon. I'll have a video at the end of the stream that'll give you the URL and everything. Because, well, this all costs money, and while I've been doing okay-ish, basically, over time, I've lost all but one of the people that was a supporter on Patreon. And although my end video still, mentions two of them by name, Greater Raider is helping me with my website, so he's still being so kind and helping me out, and I appreciate that so much. And TextCub SF has been a supporter, well, forever, and I also appreciate him so much. Now, Greater Raider I don't think streams anymore, but TextCub does, and he streams on Twitch. So if you like watching things, I don't know if he still streams Minecraft or not. I haven't been watching many streams lately, but he does still stream 7 Days to Die, and I know he streams other stuff too. I urge you to check him out, TextCub SF on Twitch. Another person that I recommend you check out and see if you enjoy his streams is Open World Addict on Twitch. He is someone who also started watching me fairly early on, and he is he's an interesting guy. I think some of you will enjoy watching him. But yeah, like, does it ever not get awkward to say, hey, support me with some cash? You know, I mean, the thing is, if you can't afford it, do not worry about it. You can support me by liking my videos and watching my older stuff that you haven't seen, or, you know, maybe want to rewatch or something. That helps too. I know that with the cost of living going up everywhere, times are not getting easier. In the pandemic, it's now endemic and it's not gone. The COVID is still around. So still, you know, be careful. And if you're not able to, you know, support me through Patreon or by following me on YouTube, then do what you can if you want to. I'm not trying to force you to do it. No. I'm just saying I have to remember to do these things, because like I have to put in notifications to say, oh, remember to, you know, resub to this person or whatever, because, you know, I've got Amazon Prime and I have to use that sub every month. Yeah, I've got a notification in my calendar, so I know all about what it's like when you like to support people, but you just never remember to, or you don't think of it. So that's why I'm talking about this, because if you're like me and you got ADHD, then maybe you just didn't think of it. So, you know, think of it now and see if it's something you'd like to do. Because just hitting that like button, that does something. Alright guys, I'm almost done this D here. D D D D D D doot. Alright. There we go. There. More of the picture. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this video when you watch it later on. And if you're watching there quietly, then thank you for lurking, because every little thing helps. And I appreciate all of it. So thank you so much, you guys. I hope that you have a great rest of your Sunday. And I hope that I can see you again sooner than last time. But as always, I'll have to play it by ear. Y'all take care now. I'll see you later. Bye. Now I gotta find my outro. I always have to find it because it's always so long. Where's my outro? No, that's not it. Oh, for Pete's sake. You know, eventually I'll be... There it is. I found it. Woohoo! Here's the outro. This has the Patreon link in it. And, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. It's a little outdated, but eventually, when I get the energy, I'll re-record it and make something cool again. That'll take a while, though. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons. You keep me streaming and multicasting. At the $30 level, I'd like to thank TexCub SF. At the $5 level, I'd like to thank Greater Raider. Want to become a patron? Go to patreon.com/valsnoisytoys. Do you want to play with me? Support me at the $5 level or higher, and you'll be invited to the end of the month Vals Noisy Toys Patron Games. And once again, thanks so much to my patrons.